right, let's get to the salary cap review. We did this before. How you guys doing out there tonight? What I do is I set up my spreadsheet. I did this last year as well. I'm going to break this down for you guys. Then I'm going to go over who I feel we should be cutting or putting on the practice squad. And then I also added notable team free agents. Now, these are guys obviously who were with us last season that will be free agents. Should we go after them? Should we not? And how it affects the salary cap. And then the spending breakdown, you can see currently, this is our snapshot right now, offensively speaking, defensively speaking on the cap for 2023. And then the specialists, that is the kicker, the punter, and the long snapper. And then it's broken down by position here. And I also added the number of players that we have by position. Right now, we have 2 quarterbacks on the active roster signed as we speak. Of course, Derek Carr is one of those. We'll get to that as well. This is the contract breakdown. We currently have 46 players on active contract right now. This is the cap value currently if we keep them. If we cut them or put them on the practice squad, this would be the hit that we would not be able to get the full gain from. And then this is the net gain. So you can see right here as you go down, and I just put the positions here so you can see that. What I want to do first, I want to see what we can do as far as clearing the cap. First thing I want to do is go to this gain. And of course, if we cut Derek Carr before February 15th, we'll only get a $5.5 million cap hit. So we would have a net gain of 29.3 versus where we're on the hook for him for this year is 35 million. What I'm going to do is put this one right now in X, of course. And then some of the other ones, Andre James, this one kind of bumped up today from like 5.4 million to 7 million. I don't know if something triggered as far as incentives or what, but he is scheduled to make 7 million this year. If we cut him, we'll get 5 million off the cap, only incur about a $2 million hit. I'm going to do that. I don't think Andre James is worth $7 million as a center, to be honest with you. I would rather have Dylan Parham there at center. I think he's a little undersized. He had some difficulties at guard, especially with the vision, getting the stunts. I think that he might be better suited there, and I think that's where we actually drafted him. Again, I think Andre James probably outplayed him this year, but he's not worth $7 million in my book. Of course, we're just going stay or go right now. Of course, you can always renegotiate contracts. That happens all the time. If he wouldn't take a cut in pay, I would release him. Bilal Nichols, you heard what I had to say about him. Awful this year. Not worth the money. Now he's going to make a little under $7 million. No way. I would rather hit that in the draft and free agency. What does Neil Farrell Jr. have for us? Al's Ghost, salute to you as well, brother. How you doing? So right now, if you look at this, if we cut these 3 players, net cap space about 56 million. Darren Waller, there's rumors that he's going to be traded. I think that's actually going to happen. I'm going to take the full gain from that. It's about 3 million. I don't think he's going to be with the Raiders next year. I think a lot of things were going on behind the scenes. He's probably not too happy about Derek Carr's situation as well. I've heard Hunter Renfrow. I don't think he's going to be going. That would be a bit of a surprise for me. Plus, we wouldn't get a whole lot from him from the salary cap. Then we have Brandon Bolden, who's a Patriot guy. Pretty good at blocking, 2.9 million. I don't see a problem with that at running back. But we're just going to go down the list so you can see how much we gain. I think the only other one on the active list right now that I'm going to take and cut right now is Chase Garbers. He's worth about $1 million. I think we'll roll with 2 quarterbacks, and this is what I'm going to say. As we get over here to our notable team free agents, of course, you see Jarrett Stidham here. He was riding for about $1 million. I gave him a bump up to $1.5 million. Of course, these are estimated costs. Of course, everything would be negotiated. So I'm going to sign him. I'm going to keep him around as my backup, and I'm going to go to the draft. I don't know if I draft a quarterback in the 7th. I'd like to probably move up or move down, maybe get Anthony Richardson. I know a lot of people say, oh, he's Lamar. Kind of. I think he throws the ball way better than Lamar. I think the better comparison is a smaller version of Cam Newton. And I like the option where if he falls down, move up from the 2nd round, get into that late 1st round, grab him, get that 5th-year option. I think that makes total sense. Plus, you got Jarrett Stidham, who knows the system, as a backup to help groom him. Let's just go down the list. Alex Bars, you know how I feel about him. Garbage. Nope. Brandon Parker is absolutely not. Denzel Perryman. Now, he had a very good year 2 years ago. Last year, pretty good until he got hurt. Not quite as good as he was in 2021. Now, if he wants to be in the top 5 for inside linebackers, that's about $12 million. I put it at about 8.5. I took a discount because he's off injured. I think he's nearing 30 years old anyway. So I would offer him 8.5 in some kind of extension. He's a stud. I mean, this guy can stop the run, the interior run game. If we can keep this guy, we will. I don't think we will. Deron Harmon, he's okay. You can take him or leave him at 2 million, maybe 2.5. Cleve Farrell, no, not at 7.5. That's the valuation some of these websites are giving for a backup edge rusher. Plus, I wanted to show this. I mean, this is where we have all our money, right? Crosby and Chandler Jones. We got 41 million at the defensive end / edge position. I want to show you Chandler Jones's contract here for this year. We would take a $25 million hit by cutting him alone. I don't see any suitors for him as far as trade. A really terrible contract if you take a look at it. And again, that's going to impede us. I keep saying this. Khalil Mack is supposed to get $23 million from the Chargers this year. I don't think that's going to happen. Unless he renegotiates, he's going to be a free agent. That would have been really nice to maybe even welcome him back. So the edge rushing position is going to be tough. Malcolm Kuntz is still there. The Yannick Ngakoue, to me, he's comparable to that. I'm not saying talent-wise. I'm talking about the size, the type of game he has. He really needs to step up. But let's go down the list some more. Foster Moreau, nope. You know how I feel about him. Jackson Barton. And again, these are estimated costs. It's about how much he makes. He's basically a backup. He's a swing tackle. And I said this before. I would sign him. I think he's our best bet if Colton Miller goes down the left side. And at $1 million, to me, that's a good price for a backup left tackle. Jermaine Illuminor. I'm going to say yes. For this money, $4 million. Was kind of a little up and down. They tried him on the left side a little bit. No good. The right side, he's decent. Unless we go out and get a big name guy, which I don't think that's going to happen. I think $4 million would be fair for him. Jerry Tillery here, we picked him up off the scrap heap. Some people think he's going to get $7 million. I don't see how. What has he actually shown? I put him at $3 million, and if so, I would take a chance on Jerry Tillery for $3 million. Showing a little bit of promise this year. Jalen Brown is another guy you could go after. He's been hurt. Josh Jacobs. Now, I put this at $16.5 million. I put FT, that's franchise tag. I don't think we're going to re-sign the guy conventionally. I don't think he's going to want to stay here. If we keep him, it's going to be under a 1-year franchise tag, and that means we have to pay him the average of the top 5 running back, and that's about $16.5 million right now where the cap stands. And personally, I'm going to pass on that. I think they swung and missed with Zamir White. I think they should have gotten Damian Pierce in the 3rd round, and we wouldn't be having this issue right now. Mac Hollins, $2 million, a good bit player. I do want some more speed on the outside. We could probably get that in the draft. Rocky Sin, I'm thinking about $2.5 million could get the job done. I would bring him on. We're so thin at corner as it is. He was probably our best corner last year. So that tells you a lot. I think he's an okay corner, not great. So this is where I stand right now. Take a look. That puts us a little under $40 million. We started off about a $50 million difference. It was almost a 2-to-1 ratio, the money spent on offense versus defense. A little bit more balance. This gives us about $30 million to play with. Like I said, I want anywhere from $7 to $10 million to sign our draft picks.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing. Just win, baby.